Hey guys, I'm Elliott, this is Everything Elliott, and this is my 2017 F350. Now this specific truck is equipped with the 6.7 liter Powerstroke diesel motor. Motor or engine? We'll go with engine. I think a motor is electrical. I think if you want to get real technical with it. Anywho, there's three major issues with this truck. Well, they're not major, I don't know. We're gonna fix one of them today. One of the issues is going to be found on any diesel truck that you purchase in the United States since 2014, I believe. That is gonna be your emissions. Now this thing has a DPF in it, and that is a diesel particulate filter, and it also has DEF, which is diesel exhaust fluid, which is basically urea. The diesel particulate filter is problem number one. That has a ton of issues. I mean, a ton of issues. They get clogged up, they get jammed up, sensors go bad, thousands of dollars to get it fixed. I guess with the emissions goes the EGR, and the EGR is the exhaust gas recirculation, which basically takes exhaust fumes and puts it back into your intake, and your motor is sucking dirty air. It's like breathing your own farts. Who wants to do that? We'll combine those emissions. Those are issues. But if you live in the United States, there's nothing you could do about that legally, so I guess you're stuck with it. Problem number two with this truck is it's got a CP4, which is a high pressure fuel pump. And that's what provides the injectors with the high pressure it needs to atomize the fuel and cause the, I don't want to say explosion because diesel doesn't explode like gasoline does. It just atomizes the fuel, and then under compression, the diesel ignites, and then that causes the motor to turn. So the CP4s are very finicky. They need very clean fuel, and you need to do fuel filters on this thing constantly. I do fuel filters every oil change, which gets expensive, but fuel systems in this are even more expensive. It'll cost you about $10,000, well, $5,000 to $10,000 to get your fuel system cleaned and replaced if you have a CP4 go bad. And the third and final issue that I believe Ford actually solved by itself in 2018 or 2019 is the CCV. That's your crankcase ventilation system. I added an S on there. Just crankcase ventilation, CCV. So the problem with 2012 to 2017 or 18 is it actually has a CCV filter in there. That filter gets plugged with oil and then causes excessive crankcase pressure. You see a lot of these trucks going in for upper oil pan gasket leaks, and well, that's because of the excessive crankcase pressure. I mean, it's as simple as that. You've got excess pressure in that crankcase. The upper oil pan seals are not made to hold pressure, they're just supposed to hold liquid. So once you get some extra pressure in there, it blows the upper oil pan gasket out, and then you have a leaky motor. Fortunately, mine has not started leaking yet, but we're gonna try to get ahead of it. This is a serviceable item. You can just get a new filter and put a new filter in there, but you have to do it so often it gets expensive fast. So what I've got today is a CCV Reroute kit from SPELAB, and it's got an internal catch can too. We're gonna be installing this today and hopefully warding off any upper oil pan gasket failure in this truck. So we're gonna be working under the hood in this truck today, and everything you're gonna be doing if you're doing the CCV Reroute, or if you just need to replace the filter yourselves, it's going to be on the driver's side of the truck, so you can just get yourself set up on the driver's side. Well, I'm gonna throw a camera on my head. I've never done this before. I don't know what it's going to look like. I'm gonna look ridiculous, I'm sure, but I don't know how else to get you the best video I can get. So we'll go throw a camera on my head and see what that looks like. I feel ridiculous. I look ridiculous. And I hope this turns out all right. I can't even tell if, like, this is like camera inception. Can it look, what am I looking at here? I hope this footage isn't wasted. Oh boy. Is this what famous YouTubers do? I don't know. Hell, maybe to look good, I don't know. Maybe I'll start wearing a helmet cam or a hat cam more often in my videos. All right, enough jabbing, let's get to it. All right, we need to get this filter out. To do that, we need to get these fuel lines out of the way. The fuel filter's out of the way. Set this here for safekeeping. That's full of oil. Set it right here for safekeeping. Keep your dirty cat hair out of that. All right, so next step, we need to get this hose off. No? Doesn't that hose disconnect? I think I'm gonna need to get the filter out first, and then after we get the filter out, we can rotate it a little bit, because I don't know if you can see, but right here, there's a locking mechanism, and I would presume there's one on the opposite side as well. Should be some bolts that we need to get at. One bolt right there, 2 bolts in the back, but I only, oh yeah, it's way back there. All right. Those look like 10 mil. Let's grab a 10 mil and get after it. There's one. Set it right there for safekeeping. Try to put a swivel on that, see if I can get the back ones with a swivel. I hate swivels. Did I mention I hate swivels? I wonder if I try to get it on by hand. Okay. We're on. Okay, swivel worked. Just had to put it on by hand first. All right. 2 out of 3 done. See if we can get this out. There's number 2. There for safekeeping. And number 3 is the hardest. It's behind. But I wonder if I can get my swivel on it again. Oh, all right, I broke it loose. I know you guys can't see anything, but trust me, I can't see anything either, so you're really not missing anything. Just trying to get it out by hand. All right. And there's number 3. So that should be all that's holding that in, minus this tube that we have right here. We'll get that out in a second, I think. There's not a 4th right here, is there? Update. All right, there's a 4th. Guess I should have did my research. Pesky little 4th bolt. Oh, look at that. All right, we don't need this hose anymore. I'm gonna cut it. Remember, kids, cut towards your buddy, not your body. All right, this should come right out of here. Should. Too good for your home. There we go. All right, there's your CCV filter. All right, well, camera inception again. I've actually got to take a break. I've got to go cook dinner for the family, grilling some pork chops tonight. But after dinner, we're gonna finish this install. That wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. We got to get the rest of that hose off. All right, that's enough of this. That's better. We're gonna get the rest of that hose off, and oh. That was a very nice little power down. Anywho, what was I saying? We'll get the hose off. That recirculates it, the vapors, and then I'll show you what we're going to be putting in. So here we've got the standard kit. This is a hose your vapors are gonna be going out of. This is just your hose clamps and stuff you're gonna need. And then we've got 2 covers. We got one here, and then a nipple that goes on the hose. But I also opted to get the internal catch can. So I'll open this up in a little bit, but it looks like a cheese grater almost, and this catches any of the actual liquid oil and keeps it in the valve cover. Whereas if you don't get that, it just kind of blows it out this hole. So yeah, we're gonna install this internal catch can. So the only thing that's going to be coming out of this hose is basically vapors, I don't know, for a lack of a better term. So there's gonna be no oil dripping from underneath my truck, which we don't want. I guess if you didn't do an internal catch can, that's a possibility. So something to think about. The internal catch can is an extra like 70 bucks, I think. So I guess if you don't want oil dripping, the internal catch can's the way to go. But I'm gonna go cook dinner and we'll be back after dinner time and probably bath time and probably bedtime. It'll be tonight. All right, dinner got postponed 30 minutes, so I have 30 more minutes to work on this. Let's get another set of gloves on that we drop in the water. First thing we can do is get that hose off there. Uh-oh, we have a visitor. Yeah, buddy. You gonna play on your tractor? With the lawnmower?
Not the truck.
Oh, you want the truck? All right, let's see about getting this off. How does this come off? As suspected, there's 2 clips. I don't know if you can see them or not. Let's try to get those off. I'm gonna get a pick tool. Grab a straight pick. There's my 45 pick. Oh, I hope there's not 4 of these. Yeah, there's 4. No, there's 3. Okay. Let's see if we can get it bent up enough that it stays up. There we go. All right, that hose is out. So, if you can see here, there's 1, 2, 3 fingers. This is really tough to film. I don't even know if you guys can see what I'm doing, but I just put a pick underneath it, bent it up so it stays up, and then just pull it out. So while we're there, we can actually put the cap on that, because that needs to be capped. Yeah, you playing in the truck? You having fun steering it? So this silicone cap, this just goes right over top of that. There we go. Like so. All right, so now with that capped, slam! Now with that capped, the only thing we have left to do is fill in the 2 holes in the valve cover gasket. Valve cover gasket and the valve cover. One right here, one in the back. A lot more room in here now without the filter in there. You want to make sure that O-ring is all the way sealed. Push it down. All right. Time is it? Nope, I still got 20 minutes. All right. Let's get that internal catch can back. There, hopefully you can see it. That's where that's got to go. It's right there. All right, front one started. And the rear one started. All right, that was easier than I thought it was going to be. Hopefully you can see that. Hopefully. Now this has got an O-ring seal on it, so it shouldn't need much ugga-duggas. Shouldn't. Being the key word here. Okay. All right, next thing that goes on there is this nipple. It's just vapors, really no liquid, so you shouldn't need any pipe tape on this. And I'm gonna see how the fit is, and then if it needs to be tightened up a little bit, I'll put a little tape on it, but for now, we're just gonna test it with no tape. Yeah, that's rock solid. It landed exactly where I wanted it to land too. Yeah, it's tight enough. Okay, now, the hardest part of all this. We gotta get the hose on there. What time is it? Okay, 5:19. I have a feeling this is going to be unpleasant. I just have a feeling. So we gotta get this hose on the end of that nipple without destroying everything. Oh, we got it started. Oh, it started. This is harder than it looks. It's way harder than it looks. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not pleasant. It's like 3/4 of the way there, if you guys can see it. Right here. Got just a little bit more to go. Probably should have put some oil on the end of that nipple to lube things up a little bit, give it a little lubricity, but I did not. So this is where we're at. Thirsty. You know what's gonna be worse than putting this hose on? Putting the hose clamp on. That's gonna be worse. We're really close. I'm like an 1/8 inch left. All right, I'm gonna call that good enough. It's pretty darn close. All right, double 8-inch extensions. That's tight, brace tight. All right, remember that time I told you I was gonna go make dinner? Well, I'm gonna actually do that now. We've got everything buttoned up under the hood that needs to be buttoned up. We need to put the fuel filter back in. And then what we're gonna do is I am going to just drape that hose down through the engine bay down to the ground. I look ridiculous. I can't even get my hat off without this thing coming off. There we go. Like I was saying, we're gonna drape it down to the ground, and then what we'll do is we'll put the truck on the lift so we can get underneath it and route that hose to a safe location, for lack of better terms. But yeah, give you a view of what it looks like right now. So there you guys can see in the back, that's where the nipple is. And then right there, that's where the other cap is. All right, we're back. Dinner was excellent. We had some grilled pork chop sandwiches, and bath time went well as well. And now the little one is in bed, so we can get back at it. All we have left to do is put the fuel filter back in and get that hose routed down to the bottom of the truck. I've also decided that racking the truck and lifting it in the air is gonna take me longer than just getting my little dolly out and rolling around underneath the truck. So first things first, let's get the fuel filter back in, and then we'll move on to the hose. Some gloves on to keep all the dirty nasties off. Theodore, how's your dinner? Filter's back in, so now we can grab a bunch of zip ties, a pair of dikes, and go under the truck. God, this is so weird with the camera on my head. I don't know if you guys can see anything, but there's the hose. So we gotta get that and route it. Here's our hose. the heck is going on here? Okay, we need to, hold on. We need to reassess this camera situation. My baseball cap is hitting my creeper. Let's just go straight camera. See how that treats us. I need new gloves because everything under my truck is covered in undercoat and I'm getting it all over me. All right, let's try this again. I got Theodore under here now. Theodore, what are you doing, dude? What are you, listen, this is not time to be pet, all right? What are you, you're super close to me, buddy. Like super close. What are you doing? Buddy. This is not the time. Okay, where were we? Yeah, so I've got the tube routed right here and then pointed in a downward direction right here. Another thing you can do is put a Venturi in your exhaust and kind of route it into your exhaust. And I might do that one day, but for now, we're just gonna leave it like this. So that's it, we're done. I am covered in undercoating now. If you didn't know, I live in Western New York and it's a salt state, so there's just, if you don't undercoat your cars, they'll rust out in 2 years. Pretty simple installation, took me approximately an hour. I mean, obviously I had dinner and stuff in between, but like an hour, all said and done. And it really wasn't that hard. Basic tools, some sockets, some Allens. What else? I used the pick tool. That's it. So we have solved one of the issues with this truck. The other two remain to be seen. Obviously emissions, you gotta leave that on. Nothing you can do about that. Guys, if you have any questions about the install or you have any questions, I said questions, so if you have any comments or concerns, make sure you leave a comment below. Again, I got this from SPELAB. I will leave a link down in the description. I think all in, I honestly don't remember how much it was. I ordered it like 2 months ago. Just finally getting around to it. Yeah, leave a comment. I'll do my best to answer it. It's really not that daunting. That back bolt on the original filter is probably the hardest thing. And with a little wobble socket, I was able to get it off. So thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one. Subscribe, like, comment. I feel like people don't understand how much liking the video and commenting really makes a difference on these, on if they get pushed through or not. So do me a favor, comment and hit the like button. That's all. Have a great day and I'll catch you on the next one.